Coming up on AZ Sportsbox Weekly, we will do a deep breakdown in every team in the NFC West. We will also showcase what the Diamondbacks need to do to make it to the playoffs.
Hello everyone, and welcome to AZ Sportsbox Weekly. I'm Emmie Keenan. Alongside me, I have Nicholas Hodell. Nick, start us off with our headlines.
I sure will. Milwaukee Brewers standout Christian Yelich fractured his right kneecap Tuesday night after taking a foul ball to the knee in the first inning of Milwaukee's game against the Miami Marlins and will not return in the 2019 season. Yelich, the reigning National League MVP, was third in all of Major League Baseball with a .329 batting average, alongside a career-high 44 home runs and 94 runs batted in, and was putting himself in a prime position to be considered once again for the MVP honor. The Brewers stand 4 games back of the St. Louis Cardinals in the National League Central Division, and an even closer half game behind the Chicago Cubs for the second and now wild card spot. The Diamondbacks are also in the hunt for that wild card spot, as they are currently 3.5 games behind the Cubs.
With a quick update on the Phoenix Mercury, they went against the Chicago Sky on the 11th and were eliminated from the playoffs, 105-76. Griner left the game with a knee injury. Griner, preparing for free agency, says she isn't going anywhere and will see her back here in Phoenix next season. Going into the highlights, as you can see, these Sun Devil students are fired up for the second game of the season. Look at the Inferno, it is packed full. Starting with the second half, Hornets quarterback Kevin Thompson with the fake in the pocket. He's caught and sacked by DJ Davidson, where he had a 5 career best tackle. Looking at freshman quarterback Jaden Daniels in the backfield, he throws it long, connects with Brandon Ayuk. He's down in the red zone. Look at that. Daniels going out. He hits it to Eno Benjamin. He's running up the sideline. He's gone at the 30, going. It is the first touchdown of the game for the fourth quarter. His 8th straight game, tallying more than 100 yards. Thompson, play action, and he is under pressure. Throws the ball, and it is picked off by Sun Devil Cam Phillips. That does it. The game is over. Arizona State Sun Devils 19, Hornets 7. According to ESPN, the win probability for ASU was nearly 95%. What a game, a second half game. But moving on, something new we're seeing here on AZ Sportsbox. Our NFL analysts Caleb Bushy and Henry Steiner are here with some NFC West predictions.
My name is Henry Steiner, and I'm here with Caleb Bushy, and this is The Breakdown. So on this week's episode, we're going to be going over the NFC West. That is the Cardinals, that is the Seahawks, the 49ers, and the Rams. We're going to be going over everything they did during the offseason and how we think they're going to do during the regular season. So without further ado, here is Caleb with the Arizona Cardinals.
With rookie quarterback Kyler Murray and rookie head coach Cliff Kingsbury, the team will go wherever Kyler leads them. Larry Fitzgerald has returned. David Johnson looks to regain his form from his 2016 season, but injury concerns to an already weak offensive line may prove to be the Cardinals' downfall. A Patrick Peterson suspension further hurts the team, who will rely on young playmakers and will certainly watch the chemistry between Christian Kirk and Kyler. Add in former Ravens linebacker and former Sun Devil Terrell Suggs on a farewell tour. Given the recent tie, I'm predicting the Cardinals will go 7-8-1 and will not make the playoffs.
The reigning NFC champions look to erase an ugly defeat in last year's Super Bowl to the New England Patriots. With most of their offensive core returning, including a now healthy Brandon Cooks, Cooper Kupp, and Robert Woods leading their receiving core, we will see if offensive mastermind wonderkid Sean McVay can recreate the magic of last season. Some areas of concern could be if quarterback Jared Goff can continue his improvement as a passer and prove that he deserves his record-breaking contract he he received, worth over $110 million guaranteed. Another factor to their success could be if star player running back Todd Gurley can stay healthy and how his arthritis in his knee will affect his play, as well as some defensive pieces and depth that the Rams were not able to retain due to a large contract extension to Aaron Donald. They did add Pro Bowl safety Eric Weddle from the Baltimore Ravens, resulting in my pick for them to go 12-4 and win the division.
The real question for the 49ers is how good is Jimmy Garoppolo? 2 years after trading for Jimmy G from the Patriots, we still don't have a good grasp at the starting caliber for Garoppolo. A torn ACL took him out early last season. Keeping him and new acquisitions healthy will be a key factor to the 49ers returning to the postseason. Former Vikings running back Jerick McKinnon has already been ruled out for the rest of the year and has yet to play down of his lucrative contract for the 49ers. Look for rookie Nick Bosa to make a huge impact on defense and for star tight end George Kittle to be Garoppolo's favorite target. It all rests on the shoulders of the Golden Boy, however, if the Niners want to make it to the playoffs for the first time since the Jim Harbaugh era ended. Although they have Nick Bosa, it's going to take more than one player to make a huge impact to the Niners. I'm predicting they go 4-12 and fall to the bottom of the NFC West.
Finally, the most difficult team in the division to figure out, the Seattle Seahawks. They still have elite and highest paid player in the league, Russell Wilson, manning the helm at quarterback, but his wide receiving core has been vastly depleted. Injury concerns forced favorite target and safety net Doug Baldwin to retire. A possible ailing injury to rookie wide receiver and physical phenom DK Metcalf leaves only speedster Tyler Lockett for Wilson to throw to. Some improvements to the offensive line have been made, which should keep Wilson from running for his life all the time. This team surprised a lot of people, myself included, by sneaking into the postseason last year by playing good team football and establishing a good run game with solid defense. Chris Carson will lead the ground game, and if last year's first-round pick Rashad Penny pans out, the Seattle rushing offense can easily lead the league. The Legion of Boom is now officially done for, with last remaining member Earl Thomas III signing with the Ravens this offseason. Before the start of the season, the Seahawks also traded for former first overall pick, all-pro defensive lineman Jadeveon Clowney from the Texans in a fairly low-risk, high-reward move. This pairing with a healthy Ziggy Ansah may prove to give nightmares to opposing QBs. If I've learned anything with this team, it's that you can never count out Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson. I have them finishing 10-6, earning the second wild card.
Unfortunately, that is all the time we have for the breakdown. This has been Caleb Bushy, and I am Henry Steiner. If you guys have any recommendations for teams you want us to do, tweet us at AZ Sportsbox. That is at AZ Sportsbox. But for us, now back to you guys at the desk.
Week 1 of the NFL season brings renewed hope for fan bases all across the country that perhaps this is their year. The Arizona Cardinals fan base had their hopes renewed on draft day this past April when quarterback Kyler Murray was selected with the number 1 overall pick. Murray get the chance to make his NFL debut this past Sunday at home as the Detroit Lions came into State Farm Stadium. First quarter, Kyler Murray in a 3rd and 17 situation from his own 5. Having to scramble around in the end zone, and he has his pass intercepted by Tracy Walker. Fast forward to the second quarter, Detroit up 3-0. Matthew Stafford's going to go play action, and he's going to find Danny Amendola wide open on the right side. One juke move later, and the Lions have their first touchdown of the game. Just so much space for Amendola to get past DJ Swearinger. Have a look at this. Look at the space, and then whoop! Look at the juke move there, right toward the end zone. Later in the quarter, Stafford goes underneath. He's going to find Kenny Galloway, and he's able to go right into the end zone. The Cardinals special teams, though, would pounce on a chance late in the second quarter as Jamal Agnew goes to try to return the punt, but he muffs it. And the Cardinals would recover, and that would lead to an Arizona field goal. We go into the fourth quarter, Lions ahead 17-6. Stafford having to evade the pocket, and he's going to scramble around, going to find T.J. Hawkinson for the 23-yard touchdown to give the Lions a 24-6 advantage. However, the Cardinals would attempt a comeback. Just over 6 minutes left, Kyler Murray steps back, looking over the middle. He's going to find David Johnson. He's for the touchdown, reducing the lead to 24-16. Later in the quarter, with just 47 seconds left, Murray throwing a quick pass. It's Larry Fitzgerald. He gets the corner of the end zone for the touchdown to get Arizona within 2. With that in mind, Kyler Murray back in the game, going for the 2-point conversion. Shotgun formation here. He's going to find Christian Kirk. He gets in, and that's going to tie the game at 24. The Cardinals quarterback dropped to Killer Wood for sure ice the game. We go to overtime. In the extra session, Cardinals up 3. Matthew Stafford going over the middle. And it's going to be a fantastic catch there. Watch the concentration there as he has to get that down. 27-0 now, minute 14 left. Kyler Murray, 3rd and 7. He has a pass tipped by the Detroit offensive lineman. Now 10 seconds left. Lions now in the offensive possession. Almost had the interception there, the Cardinals defense. And that could have given the Cardinals a chance at a game-winning field goal. But as it stands, it's all tied at 27 apiece. Now, the interesting thing about this result, the Cardinals had lost their last 96 consecutive games, down 18 points or more in the fourth quarter. An NFL team since 1990 and only won 10 times in the situation, equating to a winning percentage of just 0.4%.
The Arizona Diamondbacks are in the midst of a playoff push deep in the desert. The team sits 3.5 games behind the Cubs and the Nationals in wild card race. 6 teams are within 4 games of each other, making this one of the closest wild card races in history. So what do the D-backs need to do to make their first playoff appearance in 2 years? One word: win. Their schedule is certainly favorable from here on out. They have 5 series left, all but one of those are at home. Only one series is against a winning team, the Cardinals, who sit atop the NL Central. They'll need to get back on track after getting swept by the Mets. Before that, they won 21 out of 36 games to keep themselves in contention. Zach Gallen is one of the new young pitchers to watch. Despite taking a loss to the Mets Tuesday, Gallen carries a 2.61 ERA since the D-backs acquired the right-hander from the Marlins in July. Arizona is running out of time. They've gone 5-5 in their last 10 games. They'll have to play better than .500 ball in their final 15 outings if they want to bring the postseason back to the desert. Let's talk hockey. I have hockey analyst here, Jude Binkley, to give us an update on the Coyotes. Jude.
After finishing just 4 points shy last season, the Arizona Coyotes are looking determined on making the playoffs for the first time in 7 years. Last season, the team finished with 86 points in an inspiring run, in large part due to elite goaltending from Darcy Kemper. The biggest acquisition for Rick Tocchet's squad over the offseason was star winger Phil Kessel, whose offensive efficiency, specifically on the power play, will look great for the team who finished 27th in the NHL in goals last season. Kessel scored 27 goals with the Penguins last year, while there wasn't a single Coyote who was able to break 20 goals. The biggest question for Kessel is if he will be able to keep up his numbers without a star center. Most of Kessel's value comes in his ability to score and bring life into an offense, something that will be crucial with the Coyotes preying on a playoff berth. One player to look out for on the ice is right wing Clayton Keller, who will most likely be in the second rotation behind Kessel. The 21-year-old and former 7th overall pick signed an 8-year extension with the club last week after experiencing a sophomore slump where he dropped from 65 points his rookie season to a lackluster 47. The Coyotes are committed to Keller, but this will be a make or break year for the young talent who looks to prove that his first year in the league wasn't just a fluke. On the defensive side of the ice, the Coyotes look much more sound. With Anidi Ranka pulling back to full health, he'll be able to split games with Darcy Kemper in what is projected to be one of the best goaltending duos in the league. A defensive rotation headed by Oliver Ekman-Larsson also shows why the Yotes were able to finish 6th in the league in goals against. The NHL preseason tips off this Sunday afternoon as the Coyotes travel to T-Mobile Arena to take on the Vegas Golden Knights in an opportunity to see the franchise's younger talent try to prove themselves.
All right, Jude. One thing I know you forgot to mention was their newest member of the pack. The Coyotes just added Luna, the service dog, in training. What do you think about that?
Of course, that's cute. It's always nice having service animals and just, kind of a second mascot besides their one on the ice. But a service dog who's in training, who will be there to cheer on the Coyotes, that just sounds fun, and that's what sports is about.
I totally agree.
Over the course of the last few months, Phoenix Rising have put together one of the most impressive runs in American professional soccer history. Wednesday night, the club extended their incredible run of form to 19 consecutive games after a 1-0 victory over Las Vegas Lights FC. The streak is the longest winning streak in American professional soccer history, breaking the old record set by the Los Angeles Galaxy over the course of the 1997 and 1998 Major League Soccer seasons. Phoenix Rising has an incredible plus 43 goal differential in their winning streak. Solomon Asante is currently the USL Championship's leading goal scorer with 21 goals, and Adam John is not too far behind with 15 goals, third in the league. Asante is also the league's assist leader with 14 assists. Defensively, goalkeeper Zach Lubin leads the league with 13 clean sheets. Phoenix Rising has already clinched a home game in the USL Championship playoffs and currently enjoys an 18-point lead over second-place Fresno FC in the Western Conference. The club would love to get back to the USL Cup final, where they lost to the two-time defending champions Louisville FC last season. Phoenix Rising play host to Los Angeles Galaxy 2 on Saturday at 7:30 in a game that could push the winning streak to 20 straight games.
Nick, now what do we have next?
Well, I will tell you what, every week in sports seems to be an adventure, and this week is no different. We send over to Parker Gray with what to watch for.
Thanks, guys. Here's what to watch for. Starting Friday night at 6:40 is the Arizona Diamondbacks in the first of a 3-game series against the Cincinnati Reds. The D-backs had been on fire in recent weeks, winning 11 of their last 12 and getting within 1.5 games of that second wildcard spot. After this great string of games, they proceeded to go on a 4-game losing streak to drop down the NL wildcard standings, now 3.5 games back in the race for the wildcard. The D-backs are in need of a strong showing against the Reds this weekend to get back into the rhythm they created on the tail end of August. Luckily for the Snakes, 12 of their remaining 15 games are against sub-500 teams. If this team was to go on another winning streak, this would be the perfect time for it. Next up on Saturday at 1, it's Sun Devil football in East Lansing to face off against the 18th-ranked Michigan State Spartans. The Sun Devils look to start the season 3-0 after an unconvincing 19-7 win over Sacramento State. Michigan State is undefeated through 2 games and is looking to exact revenge against Arizona State after they pulled off the upset last year in Tempe. Michigan State touts the #1 rushing defense in the FBS thus far, allowing -3 yards per game. You heard that right, -3. ASU has shown off their talented defense as well, only allowing 7 points per game, ranking them 5th in the nation in scoring defense. With a depleted offensive line and a true freshman quarterback in his first D1 game away from home, this should be a tough defensive battle for the Sun Devils on Saturday afternoon. And last but not least, the Arizona Cardinals are flying up to Maryland for an early morning showdown against the Baltimore Ravens. While Kyler Murray and the Cardinals put on an impressive showing in the fourth quarter to come back and secure the tie last week, the Ravens had one of the most notable games of the weekend. The Ravens blew out an overmatched Miami Dolphins team 59-10. Lamar Jackson went off for 5 touchdowns, 324 passing yards, and a perfect passer rating score of 158.3. Not bad for a running back, huh? This should be an exciting game to watch with 2 new school mobile quarterbacks facing off for their first time in their young careers. Expect to see lots of offense in this one, whether it comes from the explosive duo of Lamar Jackson and Marquise Hollywood Brown, or the air raid offense from Kyler and Coach Kingsbury. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Parker. Now we're switching things up a bit from last week. We were only doing rapid fire with NFL. This week, let's start off with some Pac-12 matchups. Jude, I'm going to start with you. Sparky and Sparty, ASU at MSU on Saturday. What are you seeing for this game?
Well, expect this game to be a defensive slugfest. The Spartans, one of the best defensive teams in the FBS. It's going to be a real test for true freshman Jaden Daniels. One player to look out for is Michigan State redshirt freshman Elijah Collins. He's going to make a splash in the Big Ten. But unfortunately for the Sun Devils, I think this game is going to go to Michigan State, especially since it's in East Lansing. They've got the advantage from that.
All right, Nick, tell us.
And you mentioned the whole East Lansing part. How about the first road game for Jaden Daniels in his collegiate career? Huge test of his composure, and the offense being a mess. It's not going to go well, I have a feeling. Give me Michigan State in this one.
I think you both said it. Honestly, Michigan State. Herm had him last year. True freshman starting quarterback for the first time ever. Michigan State. All right, next. Bear with me on this one. Washington and Hawaii. Let's backtrack. Last week, Hawaii took on Oregon State. No one thought they were going to beat Oregon State, but they did. Came back in the second half, basically second half team. Let's start with you, Nick. Washington or Hawaii?
Yeah, and also Hawaii, 2 straight now for them against Pac-12 schools. Much different scenario this time around, though, going against a ranked opponent. I'm going to go for the Washington Huskies in this matchup.
Jude?
Well, Cole McDonald is an incredible gunslinger-type quarterback for Hawaii, but Washington's defense is just so incredible, so well put together, and expect them to get the win. The Pac-12 is not going 0-3 against Hawaii.
Yeah, I know that. I mean, I don't want to say they're going 0-3 against Hawaii. I'm going with Washington because I want to root for Hawaii. I can't do it. I can't do it this time. All right, up next, we are heading into NFL, Cardinals and Baltimore. Jude, take us away.
Yeah, the battle of the birds. Kyler Murray is looking great in the fourth quarter against Detroit Lions. It looks like he's what Cliff Kingsbury and the Arizona offense needs. But Lamar Jackson and the Ravens looked incredible, stomped the Miami Dolphins last week. And the Cardinals are trending up, but the Ravens, they just look way too hot, and it looks like they're going to take the win this week.
Yeah, and they got a little bit of work to do, too, I think, the Cardinals, on trying to get the team overall nicely meshed. And I think the Ravens, they're just the better overall team, in my opinion. So in this battle of two young quarterbacks, it's going to be Lamar Jackson, Baltimore.
Yeah, Jude, when you mentioned the Baltimore and Dolphins, I gotta go with Baltimore. I was really impressed by that 39-point lead beat by them. So let's move it on to top plays.
All right, let's go straight into our top plays of the week. We started in Glendale, Lions, Cardinals. 2nd and 6 situation, Daffy Stafford play fakes. He's going to throw down the right-hand side to a wide-open Danny Amendola, and then whoop, jukes right past the Cardinals defender for the Detroit Lions touchdown. Have another look at this. First off, the wide-open space that Stafford finds and the ability of Amendola to tell the Cardinals defender, thanks for coming. Cardinals and Lions tied.
Number 2, Arizona State Sun Devils taking on Sacramento State. Jaden Daniels passes it to Eno Benjamin up the sideline. He is going 30 at the 20, heading into the end zone for the Sun Devils, the first touchdown of the game in the fourth quarter.
And number 1, Colts versus Chargers. Chargers up by 8. Rivers in the end zone, looking to throw to the end zone, but no! It's Malik Hooker who tells Rivers not so fast, my friend, with a beautiful one-handed interception. As Rivers looks on in dismay, as a beautiful one-handed grab from Hooker. Wow, Chargers get the job done in overtime.
That'll do it for today's episode of AZ Sports Box.
Join us next week for all of your updates, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter at AZ Sports Box.